Alright everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Ron or Ron. This is episode 11 and I just found some interesting news. Now, we were waiting on the launch date of the Ryzen 9000 series CPUs, but AMD has decided to not release them on July 31st due to the fact of the content creators that work with AMD on the regular found some disturbing performance issues with these new CPUs that are suspected to launch July 31st, 2024. But since channel partners that work with AMD had got these here a day before launch date, which were supposed to be launched on July 31st, they found some disturbing issues with the IPCs, etc. They put it in. They updated their BIOS on the B650 motherboards as well as the 670E motherboards, and the screens were locking up. That means the screens were frozen. They was getting the blue screen of death. And Jack Hainu, AMD Senior Vice President and General Manager of Computing and Graphics, want to thank them for letting him know that these CPUs had issues. So what AMD decided to do was hold back and launch them in August so they could figure out these disturbing issues that content creators that work with AMD on the regular had noticed. There was some issues, performance issues with these new Ryzen 9000 Zen 5, the Granite CPUs that were supposed to be launched in July 31st, 2024. Yes, they're supposed to be launched within a couple of days on Wednesday, July 31st. But AMD decided to go ahead on and pull them back and figure out these issues so they could go ahead on and have happy customers instead of Intel when they launched their i9 14900K as well as the 13900K, as they was getting lock screens and the blue screen of death. Yes, so thanks to the content creator board partners that work with AMD on a regular, contacted Jack Hainu, AMD Senior Vice President and General Manager of Computing and Graphics. Let them know immediately that there are issues with these CPUs, and be glad that they caught it before launch date, which was supposed to be July 31st, 2024. Now, imagine these was released on July 31st, and they all getting all happy. We all getting happy. You know what I'm saying? We all getting happy. We put it in. We update our BIOS. And next thing you know, you're into some gaming or live streaming, and you get the blue screen of death, or your everything just freezes, lock up. Then you got to reboot, and then you notice that the reboot is taking forever to load up because there's IPC issues into the CPU. So the new launch date of the Ryzen 5 9600X and the Ryzen 7 9700X is August 8, 2024, and the Ryzen 9 9950X as well as the Ryzen 9 9900X will be launched August 15th. So yes, the new launch date is in August, and for the Ryzen 5 9600X as well as the Ryzen 7 9700X will be launched August 8th, 2024, and the Ryzen 9, the big boys, heavy enthusiast CPUs, because that's what a lot of people was selling. They were selling all four of them. All the channel partners that work with AMD, they were selling all four of them, and they was just testing them out because now is the time to test them and benchmark these CPUs and give your results on the launch date of the CPUs or the day after, which will be August 1st. But they noticed there was some IPC issues because with these new Granite 9000 series CPUs, they're supposed to have an IPC uplift. And the IPC wasn't there, the uplift wasn't there on the IPC, blue screen of death, and your computer constantly freezing, locking up, can't do nothing. And if you're into a middle of live streaming, whether you live streaming with your friends in gameplay or etc., or you're doing a live streaming event, or you can be sitting down here on these new processors. If they was launched in July 31st, you be sitting on these new processors ready to go ahead and edit your first video on these Granite CPUs, and the screen, then your work is freezing. If you are on Adobe Premiere or you're on Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, whatever editing software you use, you can't access it no more because you got the blue screen of death or your PC just froze and locked up. So it was glad that the channel partners caught this immediately and said, hey, AMD, y'all gotta go back to the drawing board and say, hey, we got issues. It's not performing well like y'all said it's supposed to be performing. And this is one reason why we have product testers that work with AMD, the channel partners that work with them, and say, hey, we don't like what y'all presented here, so y'all need to go back to the drawing board and fix these issues before people buy these here CPUs worldwide. And we talking about hundreds of thousands of gaming fans, gaming fanatics, content creators, enthusiasts that does music, that does live streaming on the regular, that does video editing on the regular. These CPUs will not perform as what you paid your money for. And exactly this is one reason why I always come down to the thing of saying why we need more hardware. If your system's still working and it's performing well, there's no need to come down with any more hardware. So thanks to our channel partners. Yes, you know who you are. Thank y'all for letting AMD know that, hey, y'all gotta fix this problem before it get out of hand on the original launch date of July 31st, 2024. Because there would have been a whole lot of angry customers, a whole lot of disappointed supporters that support AMD for what they're trying to bring to the PC industry. We have a lot of upset Intel supporters where they were disappointed with the i9 13900K as well as the i9 14900K. It did not perform as what it does, and they kept getting a blue screen of death, as well as your programs or whatever you was doing, your computer froze and you had to reboot. And then you know how sluggish it was rebooting up to get back to the login screen of Windows. So yes, AMD, thank y'all. And then Jack Heiner, AMD Senior Vice President as General Manager, thank the channel partners that caught this issue and notified AMD immediately that we have a problem on here. And this is one reason why I get mad at both Intel and AMD, because y'all so hard and so focused on being on top of each other. I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. I mean, it just kept going up and up and up. And to both Intel and AMD, if you're listening, take your time. Don't come up with a chart, because anybody can do a chart. Take your time, run your product, figure out the issues before you release it on launch date. Because just like everybody is upset with Intel with the i9 14900K as well as the i9 13900K, AMD, if you will release these at Granite 9000 CPUs on launch date of July 31st, and thanks to y'all channel partners who work with AMD on a regular basis, who will sent this out before launch date, original launch date of July 31st, 2024. They caught these issues. This is one reason why AMD stopped doing charts. Run your product. We don't care about the IPC uplift. All we want, and this goes for Intel, all we want is a functional, working product. That's all we want, is a function, working product that we could be happy with. And we made the right choice in picking which side we want to go with, whether it's Intel or AMD. Now, I ain't part of the Gamers Universe where they came out with Team Blue, Team Red. This is our top leaders in CPU manufacturing. Y'all supposed to come up with the IPC uplift, the boost, the base. Y'all come up with that. Just like Intel wanted to be the known factor in the highest boost clock. I think it was 6.1. But when everybody got these CPUs, they was crashing their systems, crashing up low in the program, or just locking up blue screen to death. We don't need that. So, I want to thank to the channel partners. Yes, I'm reading off my notes, everybody. It's right here. Thanks to the channel partners for contacting Jack Hainu, AMD Senior Vice President and General Manager of Computing and Graphic, for getting in contact with AMD and saying, let them know, say, hey, put these lines, work on them some more. We got issues with them. I'm going to be putting the link from PC World, where I got the information from. Watch it, understand it, and thanks to all the product testers that works with Intel and AMD on the regular, to go ahead on and say, hey, we caught an issue, fix it, let's get right on it, and letting the product team know to go ahead and push the launch date back some. So yes, the launch date is set for August 8th, 2024 for the Ryzen 5 and the Ryzen 7 9000 CPUs, the Ryzen 5 9600X and the Ryzen 7 9700X will be launched on August 8th and August 15th. The Ryzen 9 9950X as well as the 9900X will be launched. So this ends my segment for Ron Around episode 11. That's the only thing I have for right now. So thank you for listening to this good source info, because if they would have launched these CPUs, y'all would have been some angry, upset, and disappointed supporters who went out and paid all that money and be set for a disappointment adventure with these CPUs. So yes, to our content partners that work with AMD, thank you for catching this problem immediately before we have some angry customers on launch day. So if you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more good content. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.